You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Fire was being shot all over.
A 2-hour standoff in South Carolina ends with an officer dead and 6 others injured. What we know so far about the investigation. A change for local high school students taking college courses, the latest on dual enrollment on the Suncoast. Marijuana becomes legal in Canada in 2 weeks. We'll talk about already a concern about a lack of supply. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning, early risers. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie is off today. John Scalzi is here with details of your Thursday forecast. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you, Ray. How you doing this morning?
So far, so good.
Not too bad. Good. The temperatures are very pleasant out there. No doubt about that. We have some lower dew point values again this morning. Yesterday, we hit dew point values that were in the 60s, upper 60s. I love that. Feels so much better than dew points in the mid 70s and upper 70s. That we have had all summer long, and even as 2 days ago we had dew points in the mid 70s, so it's nice. That means that temperatures in the morning can lower just a little bit more, so we've got a 72-degree temperature in Bradenton, 73-degree in Sarasota, 75 in Venice. Inland temperature 72s and 3s, pretty popular there as well. We'll probably bottom it out at around 71 degrees in some places, so that's pretty nice. And I bet Becky and Omayaca phones in with a temperature in the upper 60s this morning. Pretty quiet across the area on radar. I don't think we'll see a whole lot in the way of rain showers during the morning commute, but we have a few that are trying to work their way into the area already at this hour. And so our rain chance slightly better today than it was yesterday at about 40%. We'll talk about that and talk about what to expect for the rest of the week coming up in just a few. Back to you, Ray.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. First alert traffic right now. We do have some news to talk to you about. A vehicle rollover happened in Sarasota County very recently this morning. There is a map of where we're about to take you. This is off Bee Ridge Road, not too far from the Bee Ridge extension. Now here is our live picture of the scene. No word yet on the status of the driver. There's the car in question, though. We're told he felt he hit a slick spot in a road, struck a tree, and there is the result of the car. Again, condition of the driver not yet known. A live picture there. Way out Bee Ridge Road, east of the interstate, just before you get to the extension, not too far from the relatively new Publix there on the south side. We'll check back on this in about 15 minutes here on Good Morning Suncoast. But first, the rest of the maps to talk to you about. Here's the scene in Manatee County. Some built up already on the bridge from Palmetto into downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, not so much so far in Manatee County. Farther south, here's the scene in the northern half of Sarasota County. You see exactly where the issue is on that live shot we showed you. There is the icon on the screen at Charing Cross Road. Westbound lane is blocked from Francis Bacon Lane to Congreve Place, looks like. Trying to read that from across the room here. Farther south, here's the situation in the lower half of Sarasota County. Just some buildup there in Charlotte County on 776. Otherwise, all clear as of 5:03 on your Thursday morning.
Pray for the family who lost the bravest police officer that I have ever known.
I'm John Long.
A horrific day for South Carolina law enforcement. 1 officer was killed, 6 others injured during a standoff yesterday in Florence, South Carolina. Our Marla Spence now joins us to tell us what led up to the fatal gunfire yesterday. Marla?
Ray, a suspect is now in custody after 7 police officers were shot in a residential neighborhood in South Carolina. The shooting killed 1 officer and left 6 others and 1 civilian wounded. It all started off with a standoff in a Florence, South Carolina home. The man opening fire barricaded himself inside along with children. Now around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, the Florence police officer who was fatally shot, Terrence Caraway, who you see there, went to a home to serve a search warrant. Caraway was then fatally shot along with 3 other Florence police officers and 3 deputies with the Florence County Sheriff's Office. After officers on the scene evacuated, the shooting suspects remained barricaded inside the home with the children, and that standoff lasting 2 hours before being taken into custody. Now, one mother who lives in the same neighborhood where the standoff happened says she heard rounds of gunfire.
Hearing the gunshots that I heard at the
rapid rate that they were firing, and it seemed to go on and on and on. You know, that was all I could think about, is that here are these men and women that are underpaid, and they're walking, running, whatever, up to this house right in the line of fire.
Now, officials say the officers responding went to the home unknowingly. The firepower that the suspect had, and thought it was a random search warrant. The officer fatally shot Terrence Caraway is being remembered as a selfless servant. He just received a 30-year service pin from the Florence Police Department. So far, the name of the suspect in this case has not been identified, and there's no word yet on how many children were inside that home. Ray?
Okay, very sad. Thank you, Marla. Manhunt continues in Tennessee as police search for a suspected arsonist and burglar there. They're looking for this man, Kirby Wallace, who is considered armed and dangerous. He was wanted for 2 weeks ago, since 2 weeks now, when he allegedly tied up a couple after breaking into their home. Investigators say he also stole their car, then set the house on fire, killing the woman inside.
We're working every end of this to try to find out where he may be. Or anything that would give us any clues of where he may be. So we are coordinating those resources and using the intelligence that we're getting from the community and from other sources to find out what we need to do to bring him in.
He's also accused of killing a man during the carjacking as well. Now to the latest on the bitter battle over Judge Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the U.S. Supreme Court. Today, senators will begin reviewing the results of the FBI investigation into allegations of sexual assault. Lawyers for his accusers say they are profoundly disappointed so far. And now all eyes turn to the handful of senators who are still on the fence. ABC's Emily Rao has a preview of tomorrow's big vote.
A late-night motion in the Senate officially kicking off the countdown to a crucial vote.
I'm filing cloture on Judge Kavanaugh's nomination.
With Brett Kavanaugh's lifelong appointment to the nation's highest court on the line, the full Senate could vote on his final confirmation this weekend. The decision could come down to a handful of undecided senators, including Republicans Lisa Murkowski, Jeff Flake, and Susan Collins, along with Democrat Joe Manchin.
So I want to look and see what this report and investigation says.
All four condemning President Trump's mockery of Christine Blasey Ford at a campaign rally.
How did you get home? I don't remember. How'd you get there? I don't remember. Where is the place? I don't remember.
Senator Flake on NBC.
Right. I wish he hadn't have done it. Just to say it's kind of appalling.
The president's comments were just plain wrong.
After spending much of the day Wednesday defending the president,
it wasn't anything other than the president stating facts.
The White House is now debating the release of the findings of that FBI investigation as attorneys for Kavanaugh's first accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, attack its merit, releasing this statement saying a supplemental investigation that did not include an interview with her nor the witnesses who corroborate her testimony cannot be called an investigation. We are profoundly disappointed. Senators will have a chance to review the FBI's report today starting at 8 a.m. and overnight the White House saying they are fully confident the Senate will confirm Judge Kavanaugh. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
The Trump administration is now denying visas to unmarried same-sex partners of diplomats coming to this country. The State Department's new policy now only recognizes marriages when granting diplomats visas for partners. Those in domestic relationships who are currently in the U.S. have until the end of the year to get married to get the same rights and benefits of spouses. Partners who don't get married by that time will have 30 days to leave the country. President Trump gave his second quarter salary to the Small Business Administration. The SBA will use the money for a training program for veterans. That program is designed to help veterans become entrepreneurs after leaving the military. Well, starting next year, local high school students taking courses through the State College of Florida's dual enrollment program won't be able to take those classes at their high school. Students will still be able to get college credit, but they'll have to take the classes online or at one of SCF's 3 campuses. SCF made the change last week after learning there were some inconsistencies when classes were taught off-site. Manatee County's school board chairman says he was unaware of any issues.
If there were issues regarding, let's just say, how students were being graded, if they had recognized any disparities in that, the appropriate approach would have been to bring it to the school district's attention.
SCF officials say it all had to do with the courses not meeting their standards. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, in less than 2 weeks, marijuana will be legal in Canada. Why experts say the supply won't be enough. And later in the hour, an Ohio family is now the proud owners of a U.S. flag that was shown being battered by Hurricane Florence, how they are using it to honor a loved one. It is 5:10 right now on this Thursday morning. Here's how it looks outside. Looking back at downtown Sarasota. As far as the Thursday forecast goes, here is First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi.
Great, thanks very much. So we do have a chance of seeing some showers around a little bit later on, but we'll also have plenty of sunshine as dawn breaks on the Suncoast. Temperatures will again be above average, warming quickly into the 80s. And then as we head into the afternoon, about a 40% chance of a few scattered showers around. Have checked the rain box on the drive time forecast because of the chance of those scattered showers for your trip back from work a little bit later on this afternoon. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hut hut! It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
It's a very scary time for young men in America when you can be guilty of something that you may not be guilty of. Somebody could accuse you of something and you're automatically guilty.
President Trump says too often men are assumed to be guilty. Do young men have something to be worried about? I'm Alan Cohn, an important discussion at the traffic light.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 73-degree temperature with a dew point value of 71. That's not too bad, 71. And we'll probably see a dip down again into the 60s at some point this week, upper 60s. Today, maybe not so much because we do have some more moisture beginning to filter its way in today that's going to enhance our rainfall chances. In fact, moisture will be going up as we go through the afternoon. But tomorrow, another slug of drier air will be moving our way. Through the morning hours, a lot of sunshine around. That sunshine helping to build our temperatures up into the upper 80s as we head toward noontime. And then as we head into the afternoon, a few scattered showers in the same pattern that we have seen all week long, coming in from the east and moving out into the Gulf waters, will bring us about a 40% chance of showers. Right now, Titan radar not showing a whole lot of rainfall across our area, though we do have a few scattered showers trying to work across the coast, even at this hour of the morning. Of course, they're having a hard time doing that just because the air still is a little bit on the dry side. But as we moisten it up with that east wind, we'll start to see a few of the showers work their way all the way into our neck of the woods and bring us that slight chance of a shower. These aren't going to be the big thunderstorms that we had a few weeks ago because we have, first of all, a strong easterly wind that's going to keep our sea breeze really even from forming, and also because the moisture is still lacking compared to where we were. So this is the moisture available to produce rain showers. You see, we start off a little bit on the dry side, but then we bring that moisture in pretty quickly today. Tomorrow, we start to see some of that drier air begin to filter in behind that humid slug, and we're left with a little bit drier conditions as we head into tomorrow. That's the kind of the roller coaster that we have been on this week. One day we have a little bit higher rain chance. The next day we have a little bit lower rain chance, and such is the case for today and tomorrow as well. Across the nation, we still have an area of low pressure tapping into the moisture that was residual from Rosa that moved on shore and is now producing some flooding rains in parts of the west. And we have some strong storms moving through parts of the Ohio Valley a little bit later on today. This frontal boundary pressing toward the east. High pressure, though, remains the dominant weather feature for us. Nothing changes there. It's anchored in place. It will not allow any of the colder air to arrive in the deep south or the state of Florida for that matter. In fact, it's driving very warm, moist air all the way up into Maine, in fact, today. We have this general easterly wind flow continuing, bringing the showers from the Atlantic coast to our coast, and consequently, we start the day off mostly sunny, but we do have a better rain chance because of that little bit of moisture heading our way. And we continue to monitor the tropics because of possible development down there. Of course, we have Leslie, now a hurricane, but that is of no matter to us. We do have this area of shower and thunderstorm in the Caribbean that some computer models continue to develop. In any event, whether it develops or not, I think that moisture will start to lift north by next week, and that could enhance our rainfall chances. And it could develop into a tropical cyclone as well. So we'll keep an eye on that right straight through the weekend. Northeast wind coming in at about 5 to 10, turning to the east at about 15 a little bit later tonight. And the forecast calling for a 40% chance of showers today, reduce it a bit tomorrow and into the weekend. And then we'll start to tick those rain chances back up for Columbus Day and into the beginning of next week. Then we'll watch that tropical moisture by midweek next week as it at least enhances our rainfall chances. Back to you, Ray.
First alert traffic right now. Here's the scene first off in Manatee County. Nothing to report so far this morning. We'll check on that again in 15 minutes. Farther south, here's the scene in the northern half of Sarasota County. Just some small issues of caution. And also the issue east of the interstate there off Bee Ridge Road, which we showed you earlier, Charing Cross Road, westbound lane blocked from Francis Bacon Lane to Congreve Place. We've since been told the car has been removed from there. It's still no word about the health of the driver in that rollover. We'll check back on that in about 12 minutes. And then farther south, here's the scene in the southern portion of our viewing area in the South County region, or not. There we go. Nothing to report right now at 5:18 on your Thursday morning. Starting October 17th, marijuana will be legal in Canada. But as reporter Diane Bruckner tells us, some say supply is not going to meet demand.
You've got pipes and water pipes and bongs.
Angus Taylor has just about everything ready to roll at his cannabis retail outlet. In the back, though,
here, although you don't see any cannabis products right now,
empty shelves await a first delivery.
I've recently heard comments from some of the CEOs saying that they don't expect there to be enough product in the system, and that, of course, is of great concern to us.
Not enough product? Haven't cannabis companies been working overtime for months?
We didn't have enough producers far enough ahead from legalization that they'll actually be able to deliver product to market by the time legalization happens.
Economist Rosalie Wanch has been studying cannabis producers' inventory reports, and she's analyzed how demand for legal cannabis played out in Colorado and Washington. Her view?
There is not currently enough legal supply of marijuana to actually supply all of the recreational demand for marijuana in Canada.
How much weed do we need? Estimates for the first year range from 600,000 to 926,000 kilograms. Meanwhile, the forecast for supply for the year is just 200,000 kilograms, less than a third of what could be needed.
That doesn't mean that all hope is lost.
Wanch says the black market will be ready to fill any gaps.
As a country, we don't have a shortage of marijuana. We have a shortage of legal marijuana.
Even more traditional.
Angus Taylor expects local drug dealers will try to undercut government prices as well, and worries what will happen if the supply of legal weed does run out.
We're concerned perhaps about the second or the third orders when the storage facilities at the licensed producers start to get a bit bare.
Industry watchers say a year from now there will be plenty of approved cannabis in Canada, enough to export to other countries. But during this first year, legal supply at home is far from a sure thing.
And that was reporter Diane Buckner. Experts estimate Canadian producers will only supply about a third of what consumers will want in the first year. Stay tuned. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, new at the Milwaukee Bucks games this year, the Beer Jet. How much beer can it pour in an hour? That's in today's Tech Bites. And next half hour, recovery efforts are underway right now in Indonesia as the death toll has reached over 1,000 victims. Stay with us. Those stories and more coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American Car of the Year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7.
Teachers inspire our children and promote a lifetime of learning. So ABC 7 and Gettle Automotive wants to honor these chalkboard champions by giving them the chance to win $500. But we need your help. Go to mysuncoast.com/chalkboardchampions to nominate an outstanding teacher who's really making a difference. And each month we'll deliver $500 to one teacher in Sarasota County and one in Manatee County. Go to mysuncoast.com and nominate your chalkboard champion today.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. because love has no labels.
Welcome back. Honda will team up with GM to create self-driving cars. Details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Honda and General Motors teaming up.
Honda is going to invest $2 billion in GM's self-driving vehicle unit called Cruise. That investment will take place over the next dozen years. The aim is to develop a completely new autonomous vehicle which won't have any controls for human operation. Pretty cool. Samsung has finally unveiled the price for its massive 8K television.
All right, get this. You can pre-order the 85-inch TV right now for $15,000. Yeah, deliveries do start at the end of this month, so you'll get it in time for the holidays. And fans at Milwaukee Bucks games won't have to wait long for beer anymore.
The stadium has installed the Beer Jet. It's a dispenser that fills 6 glasses at a time in just 7 seconds. The Beer Jet can pour 1,500 beers an hour.
Can you imagine the fans who will just be like, just skip the glasses, just put it
underneath?
Yeah, just go straight there. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Capital One.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you'll earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just airline purchases. Think about all the double miles you could be earning.
Holy moly, that's a lot of miles!
Shh. What's in your wallet?
Olay Deep Hydrating Eye Gel breaks through the competition. Olay Eyes with B3 Complex hydrates better than $100, $200, even $400 eye creams. That's something to see. Olay.
With Advil Liquid Gels, you'll ask, what's stiff joints? What bad back? Advil is relief that's fast, strength that lasts. You'll ask,
what pain?
With Advil Liquid Gels.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important, and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it.
My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Residents on Lido Key concerned this morning about dirty canals, what the water might be filled with. How a family is using a flag nearly destroyed during Hurricane Florence to honor a relative. Never wanted to have a building or a park named after you? Now you can in Venice. We'll explain those stories and more this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning, welcome back. I'm Ray Collins. It's 5:30 now. Glad you're with us. Stephanie is off today, and John Scalzi is here on October 4th. So I say to you, 10-4. Good, buddy.
There you go, Ray. Exactly right. Those are the numbers to play today, huh?
Right.
Yeah, we're looking at some pretty quiet conditions on the Suncoast this morning, no doubt about that. And as far as the dew point values go, they're a little bit lower than we have seen over the past couple of days, but still, I think they'll probably rise just a little bit. If you look at the structure of the temperatures, it's got 70s, low 70s in inland areas. We've got some mid to upper 70s closer to the coastline. Now, if you look at the difference in temperature over a 24-hour period, you'll notice that it's about the same near the coast, but if you go a good distance inland, you've got temperatures that are a little bit warmer this morning. And they are a little bit warmer because moisture is beginning to creep into the state from east to west, which is going to enhance our rainfall chance just a little bit. You can see a few of the scattered showers trying to already work their way across the peninsula, having a tough time because yesterday's dry air still lingers. It's in the process of being replaced. So a few of these showers kind of dissipating out as they move into the relatively drier air. But like I say, it's moistening, so we will see a chance of a few of these showers actually working their way all the way through as we head into the afternoon. Rain chance today at about 40%. We'll see a warm afternoon as well. Under a fair amount of sunshine, our temperatures get up into the low 90s. Right?
John, talk to you again soon. Here are the roads right now. First off, a live shot of I-75 and Bee Ridge Road. Already some traffic building there. Folks heading off to work or wherever on this Thursday morning. Pretty shot there. Let's go now to the maps. First off, we'll check out Manatee County. We'll see some building conditions there on State Road 70 eastbound as you head toward the interstate. Also 301 there at the base of your screen southbound as drivers there head toward Sarasota County. Farther south now, excuse me, here's the scene in the upper half of Sarasota County. That icon there on the far right we showed you live earlier. We're told that car has since been taken away. There shouldn't be a lane block, therefore, anymore, so you can ignore that icon near the Bee Ridge extension. And then farther south, here's the final map we'll show you. And not much to report right now at 5:32 on this Thursday morning. Some Lido Key residents are concerned about dirty canals around their homes. The canal near St. Armand's in Lido, filled with what Moat Marine says is seagrass and bethnic algae. Experts say this is most likely the effects of, you guessed it, red tide, and a result of low dissolved oxygen in the water.
It's devastating because you can't go out, we don't kayak, we don't do our activities because of this, and the smell is bad.
It's really not a pretty thing for wildlife, it's not a pretty thing for residents, and it's certainly been impacting the business here.
Moat Marine is testing the water and plans to get back to the city of Sarasota with their results. Look at this aerial footage of the conditions at North Palm Beach. Might look familiar here on the Suncoast. 2 days after red tide was confirmed in Palm Beach County, hundreds of dead fish and seaweed have washed ashore on the beaches. County officials there are working on removing the fish from the beaches. FWC says last time red tide affected that part of Florida was 11 years ago. Back on this coast, here's some aerial footage of what Siesta Key looks like right now. A viewer sent us this aerial video that appears to be around Turtle Beach, which is at the southern end of Siesta Key. You can see a mostly empty beach, some patches of clear water and some darker water as well. Sarasota County has collected more than 250 tons of dead fish since August. A now famous U.S. flag shown on camera being battered by wind and rain from Hurricane Florence is heading now to a family in Cincinnati. They won the flag at an online auction, and they're using it as a symbol of strength to honor a loved one who they say embodied just that. Reporter Evan Millward explains.
Sometimes the storm seems too much.
Every one of us, we all have challenges in our life.
And we aren't sure.
We all have storms that we need to get through.
We can weather it.
But just stay courageous and stand tall and stay firm.
And then we find inspiration. For Mike Caruso and his family, a flag that just wouldn't let go came at just the right time.
Saying that's Kevin. He was a fighter. And again, in our lives, how this inspires us as a family, just never quitting.
Caruso's oldest brother, Kevin, was in his own storm, the last weeks of a battle with prostate cancer. After Hurricane Florence cleared out, this flag was taken down from the Frying Pan Tower off the North Carolina coast. It had earned a nickname online weeks earlier. The nickname was Kevin, and it was now up for auction.
Be resilient and fight and just never give up. And see, that's the legacy that Kevin has done for his children and grandchildren.
Kevin Caruso died Sunday morning. His family won the bid for the flag Sunday night. All the Caruso boys went to Elder. Kevin graduated in 1972, Mike a year later.
To hear his brother Mike talk about that flag and what it stood for, I think it was just a beautiful piece.
And it has brought that alumni community together already. And that's really what Mike Caruso wants this all to be about. He'll get the flag this week and mount it. And whether it ends up staying in Cincinnati or moving, there is a museum that's interested. Caruso says he hopes it inspires.
I have to believe that somewhere through that there are going to be individuals that see this and read this and maybe that will change their heart and their minds about things in their life.
And that was reporter Evan Millward. All the money from the auction of nearly $11,000 will go to the American Red Cross. Nice story there. Here's some video from Indonesia which shows the ongoing rescue and recovery operations that are underway right now. This is day 6 after a devastating earthquake and tsunami. The death toll is now over 1,400 victims, and the search for survivors as well as more victims continues at this hour. Longtime TV news correspondent Connie Chung says that she was sexually assaulted by a family doctor 50 years ago. In an opinion piece in the Washington Post, Chung described being assaulted by the doctor during college when she went to him for birth control. In the editorial, she praises Christine Blasey Ford, who has accused Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of attempted sexual assault 35 years ago. Punta Gorda police want to know who discharged fire extinguishers inside a parking garage. The group was caught on camera. Let's watch this now. You can see them in the surveillance video. This happened at the Herald Court parking garage about 2 weeks ago. See them pretty clearly there. Police are hoping you have some insight about who did this, and you can call them immediately in Punta Gorda. First alert traffic now. Sarasota County officials say they are replacing traffic lights at 24 intersections. Now, so if you see a light that is not operating correctly, proceed with caution today. As a reminder, if there are no signal lights, then traffic lights should be treated as a four-way stop. A big win in the fight against opioid addiction. The Senate passed Congressman Vern Buchanan's opioid bill. The proposal would create a national database for patients. The guide would link people with health care providers and give them access also to federal opioid prescribing guidelines. So next, the bill leaves Capitol Hill and goes to the White House for the president's signature. Looking ahead to next week, if a big job is in your future, there's a job fair to talk to you about on Wednesday. Career Source Suncoast will host it October 10th at the Van Wezel. It takes place from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. At least 50 companies will be taking part next week in that job fair. If you ever wanted a city building or a park named after you, here's your chance, and who wouldn't, right? Under a new ordinance in Venice, the City Council now has the authority to sell naming rights to parks and buildings. This branding is a way for the city, well, to make some extra cash. For each naming or renaming, a public hearing will be held first. Also, a background check will be required. That could be embarrassing.
Today we lost a good friend of mine, an officer that I've known for 30 years.
Still ahead, the latest on the 2-hour standoff in South Carolina where one officer was killed and 6 others injured. A suspect is now in custody, and we'll have a story on the way. It's 5:39. There's a shot outside our studios, looking at the downtown skyline, well lit at this hour. As far as the bus stop forecast goes, for that we turn to meteorologist John Scalzi.
All right, thanks very much. So we're looking at a pretty nice start to the day. I think we'll have a lot of sunshine around. We will watch clouds build in the second half of the day, and there will be an isolated shower possible. But most of these are going to occur after school is over and out. We'll watch for the showers probably around 5, 6 o'clock will be the best chance. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 chance of an outside recess today under a warm and partly sunny sky. I have your forecast for you coming back after the break.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we have a 73-degree air temperature. We have a dew point value of 71. That's not too terribly bad. 71, that's getting pretty comfortable. I love dew points in the 50s and 60s, but it's going to be a while before we see that. In any event, we'll maybe later on this week, maybe Friday, see a dew point that bottoms out in the upper 60s. That's not impossible. We have some drier air moving in tomorrow. For today, though, I think we'll watch those dew point values probably increase a little bit as we head into the afternoon because we have some more moisture headed our way, which will increase our rain chance today compared to yesterday up to about 40%. That 40% chance will linger through probably around 4, 5, 6 o'clock and then start to decrease as we head through 7, 8, 9 o'clock and leave us with a pretty clear overnight. If you take a look at Titan radar right now, it's already visible at this time of morning. A few scattered showers building from the other coast and trying to make their way across the peninsula. The air is still kind of dry, though, and a lot of these showers are just basically falling apart as they move into this drier air over inland locations. Nevertheless, got more moisture around today than we did yesterday, and we'll see even more moisture as we head into the afternoon, and that's why we're going to support that 40% chance of showers. Across the nation, there are places that have a whole lot of moisture. Flash flood watches and warnings up for parts of the west because of an area of low pressure tapping into some tropical moisture there, left over from Rosa. And we also have a frontal boundary that is plowing through parts of the northeast today, the Ohio Valley and into the northeast, producing some rain shower potential there, and even the threat of some severe weather in the Ohio Valley. For us here locally, it's all about that high-pressure ridge, persistent, anchored, not going anywhere, right straight through the weekend. It's really preventing any kind of frontal boundaries from moving through here and bringing us any cooler air. That doesn't look like that's in the cards anytime soon. We have this easterly wind flow that'll continue again today, taking the showers over on the other coast and slinging them back in this direction. So mostly sunny and warm again today. Better rain chances, about 40%. And then we're still monitoring the tropics for, at the very least, a little bit more moisture headed this way next week. We'll talk about that in the next half hour. The futurecast shows a few scattered showers over on the other coast, kind of working their way toward us. But even by lunchtime, I think will be still pretty dry. As we head into the afternoon, a few of the showers start to work a little bit closer to us. But I think most of the kids get home without a drop of rain bothering them. And then as we head into the evening drive time and just a little bit after perhaps, that's when we have the chance of seeing a few scattered showers move through. Maybe even an isolated thunderstorm, though much more likely just scattered showers. And then that all leaves us with a pretty quiet and calm overnight. So we watched total rainfall accumulations showing a little bit better chance of rainfall than we saw earlier this week. We have the potential of maybe some isolated pockets of half-inch rainfalls in inland areas if we do indeed get a thunderstorm, but most of us will see our rainfall again measured in the tenths of an inch or even hundredths of an inch. So not a big rain-producing day, but the possibility of some measurable rain is certainly in the forecast. We're looking at a northeast wind coming in at about 5 to 10, maybe strengthening a little bit during the overnight, the easterly at about 15. And then we'll watch over the next several days. About a 40% chance of showers today, but the drier air starts to move in tomorrow and will lower that rain chance to about 20%. Friday should be a pretty nice day, mostly sunny, about 92 degrees. And over the weekend, I think it's going to be great. At least one of the days will be absolutely rain-free, maybe both of them. Sunday will put in about a 20% chance of showers. And then as we head into next work week, we'll look at about a 50 to 60% chance of showers as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, and some tropical moisture lifts north. More on that in the next half hour, Ray.
All right, talk to you then. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic. Here's the scene first off in Manatee County. Little buildup from Palmetto into downtown Bradenton, otherwise pretty clear across the board in Manatee County. Farther south, this is northern Sarasota County now, and we'll see nothing right now in the red. Some earlier issues have since cleared up, so we'll move farther south. There's the scene in South County. Little bit of activity there between Nokomis and Venice, but nothing much to report as of 5:47 on this Thursday morning. Certainly a sad morning in South Carolina where one officer was killed and 6 others injured after a 2-hour standoff. Our Marla Spence now joins us to tell us just what happened yesterday in Florence, South Carolina. Marla?
Well, Ray, this morning, the Florence, South Carolina community is mourning the loss of one officer and are deeply saddened by the officers who were wounded in the line of fire. In total, the shooting killed 1 officer and left 6 others and 1 civilian wounded. It all started off with an officer going to a home to serve a search warrant that then turned into a standoff in Florence, South Carolina. Now, Florence County Sheriff's Office says it all started around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon when a Florence police officer, Terrence Caraway, went to a home to serve a search warrant before the shooting suspect barricaded himself inside a home along with children. Officer Caraway was fatally shot. 3 other Florence police officers were shot but only wounded, along with 3 sheriff deputies with the Florence County Sheriff's Office. Now, after the officers on scene evacuated, the shooting suspect remained barricaded inside the home with the children. That standoff lasting 2 hours before being taken into custody. Now, Florence County Sheriff Kenny Boone says the officers responding went to the home not knowing the firepower the suspect had and thought it was a random search warrant.
Fire was being shot all over. The way the suspect was positioned, his view of fire was several hundred yards. so he had an advantage. And the officers couldn't get to the ones that's down.
The officer fatally shot Terrence Caraway is being remembered as a selfless servant. He's recently received a 30-year service pin from the Florence Police Department. So far, the name of the suspect in this case has not been identified, and there is no word yet on how many children were inside that home. Ray?
Very sad story. Thank you, Marla. Well, think twice before taking that next selfie. They can be dangerous, even deadly. Yeah, a new report says 259 people died taking selfies over a recent 6-year period. Now, women take more selfies overall, but men die more often in selfie-related incidents because they tend to take more risks. Researchers believe the role of selfies in deaths is is likely very underrated, so do take caution. Those look relatively benign right there on the streets. Just look both ways. Consumer news. Airbnb has changed how many of us travel by making it cheaper to stay in other people's homes. Now, car sharing services are getting popular as well. Reporter Mary Maloney has today's Consumer Watch.
A brand new car, and Brittany Young is actually making money off of it.
Total, I made about $800 so far.
She's one of millions using the car sharing app Turo to share vehicles with complete strangers.
When they pick up my cars, I give them some suggestions of where to go, what to do, what to eat.
The Turo app allows you to rent your car to pre-approved drivers and offers a cheaper alternative to the car rental counter.
You can get the car delivered to you at the airport, curbside, or if you're traveling locally, you can have the car delivered to your home or to your office.
CEO Andre Haddad says it's like an Airbnb for cars.
You know, our hosts are sharing their cars because for the first time, the car is no longer a depreciating asset that costs them money. It's an asset that can pay for itself.
The Get Around and Hire Car apps are also giving users more flexibility and customization. Along with Turo, all three work like an online dating app, allowing users to browse vehicles in their area and pick one that fits their budget and occasion.
If I was to rent a high-performance car from a rental car company, that would be at least $300, $400 bucks. At Turo, I could get it for $100.
We've got more than 850 makes and models, so you can get a very basic car for $20 a day, and if you want to splurge, you can drive a Lamborghini for $2,000 a day.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
So the company screens all applicants for safe driving and valid insurance first, and they have also a $1 million liability policy that covers both the hosts, and the guests. We'll update the day's top news headlines after this. Stay with us.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Cancer doesn't run in my family. That really was the farthest thing from my mind. I've been an athlete my whole life and I work in sports, so my mindset was just, let's fight. So our stories are all unique, so whatever you're going through, ask questions, get information and be involved. Don't ignore the signs, join the fight. I'm Tony Beasley and I'm a stage 2 colorectal cancer survivor.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Here are the headlines this morning. A vote may come tomorrow in the U.S. Senate on Judge Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the U.S. Supreme Court. All eyes on the undecided senators who could tilt this close vote. Manatee County School Board Chairman says he's disappointed in a decision by the State College of Florida. SCF has decided to stop letting high school students take dual-level classes through their high schools. They must attend the actual college to do it or do it online. And another job fair is set for the Suncoast. Mark your calendars. Next Wednesday, Career Source will have 50 employers on hand at the Van Wezel from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. All those stories and much more, including John Scalzi's Thursday forecast and also First Alert weather, next hour right here on Good Morning Suncoast. We'll see you then.